Quran was only revealed using the third book, right? The messenger.
تدریجی, yes. نزول تدریجی, which happened through 23 years, it was received by angel, by Jibreel. But in نزول دفعی, maybe it was inspiration, direct receive, and also in the time of Mi'raj, when Rasulullah ascended to Samawat and to Arsh, and there was no person in between Rasulullah and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so there was no barrier, there was no hijab, there was no veil between him and Allah. So maybe at that time he received directly from Allah. But this Quran, through these 23 years, which we call Nuzul Tadriji, yes, he received through Jibreel. It is the third one. Quranic commentary or Tafsir Quran. Sister, maybe the last. Okay. A Tafsir, what does it mean? A Tafsir, Arabic Tafsir, interpretation.
A tafsir
Is an Arabic exegesis.
is an Arabic
This is or commentary.
commentary, usually of the Quran. Someone who writes tafsir is a mufassir. From
Arabic we say mufassir or mufassirun plural. It just gives you some words. Okay, now it is obvious. Yes, from here you can read. It is obvious that the most reliable.
it is obvious that the most reliable Quranic commentary is being contained in the Quran itself. In other words, the ways in which certain ayat clarify other ayat are regarded as being the most significant form of commentary. The second form of Quranic commentary is how the Prophet interpreted the Quran, and his comments on the Quran, as well as everything he ever did or said or did, are recorded in the Hadith collections. After these two forms of commentary, knowledgeable companions and later generations of pious and learned Muslims expressed their views of the meaning of various ayat. It is on this foundation that the science of Quranic commentary was built.
Very good. So you see, first when we talk about tafsir and explanation about chapters and ayat, whatever comes to our mind first is Quran itself. If, for example, somebody wants to know the meaning of ayah, it is better to refer to Quran and see what Quran says about this ayah, or what Quran says about this word or this chapter. So the first interpreter or mufassir of Quran is Quran. And second is hadith. If you want to know something about surah, we have to ask Rasulullah. Okay, oh Rasulullah, could you please give us some information about this surah, this chapter? He is the best one. He is the first one who should be referred about the chapters, about words in the Quran. And third, we have some Sahabe, we have some scholars who give us some knowledge about the Tafsir al-Quran and the explanation of Quran. Next paragraph. Did you read? Okay. Ilm al-Tafsir.
علم التفسير, or the science of Quran exegesis, is usually a systematic
Exegetical study.
of the Quran's verses. This subject is widely studied by all Hawza students, and one who chooses to specialize in this field becomes a mufassir, or commentator of the Quran. Both Shia and Sunni scholars have written literally hundreds of tafsir works over the ages. Some Shia scholars limit the word of tafsir to being the interpretation of the Quran by the Prophet ﷺ himself and his special household members, the Ahlul Bayt. They consider all other interpretations as being simply a personal reflection.
Okay. Who wants to read for us? Yes. What is at-tafsir bil-ra'y?
Tafsir bil-Ra'y, Muslims believe that it is prohibited to perform Quranic interpretation using solely one's own opinion. It is narrated in the hadith from the Prophet.
Yes. It is a very famous hadith narrated by Sunni and Shia sources that tafsir bil-ra'y is highly and highly prohibited. So if we want to understand the difference between tafsir bil-ray and other kinds of tafsir, I'll give you an example. If you are the leader of Quran and say, okay, this is my opinion, and you try to bring the verses and the Quran to harmonize with your opinion, it is tafsir bil-ray. But if you follow the Quran, Quran is your leader. You don't lead the Quran. The Quran leads you. So that kind of tafsir is okay. So if, in case that, if you have something in your mind, you want to prove this, but you want to get something from Quran, and you go up and down to say, okay, this is what I am saying. This is, you can find, this is Quran. This is tafsir bil-ra'i. You are not going to Quran to learn something. You are not going to Quran to find something from Quran. You want to oppose something on Quran. You want to enforce Quran to talk about your opinion, your ra'i. This is tafsir bil-ra'i. This is haram. This is prohibited. But if you go at the service of Quran and say, okay, what do you say about this? What is your knowledge about this? Or what I understand from this ayah or this, that ayah, is okay. So the difference between tafsir bil-ra'i and tafsir, correct tafsir, right tafsir, is this. But what's the difference between tafsir and ta'wil? Sometimes we hear about ta'wil. What is ta'wil and what is tafsir? I'll give you some very short explanation about these two words. I think some guests also can help us to read some parts of this. Yes. Who wants to? Yes, please. Tafsir and ta'wil. Exegesis, yes. Means
explaining the meaning of Quranic verses, clarifying its importance and finding out its significance.
okay, is it clear? So tafsir means to explain words of Quran, verses of Quran, to find out the meaning of the verses, the meaning of the words. This is tafsir. But what about ta'wil? At-ta'wil, yes.
Is that relative to which a verse refers? It is found in all verses that decisive and the ambiguous alike. There is not a sort of meaning of the word. There is a real fact that as too sublime of words, Allah has dressed them with words so as to bring them a bit nearer to our minds. In this respect, they are like verbs that are used to create a picture in the mind and thus help them clearly grasp the intended.
Actually, this is not the whole picture and the whole meaning of ta'wil, but it gives us some idea about ta'wil and tafsir. Somebody says ta'wil means to go deeper and deeper into the meaning of the Quran. Somebody says ta'wil means to go to the symbols and to some other secret things about Quran and other things. But still, it is very difficult to say, okay, what is ta'wil and what is tafsir, and how can we specify and distinguish between ta'wil and tafsir. So, okay, here is the border. At this side is tafsir, at this side is ta'wil. It is not so easy. So usually they say ta'wil is something which comes from urafa or awliyaullah, those people who are tahir, la yamassahu illa al-mutahharun. So these people, like an awliya, like urafa, they can give us some ta'wil about ayat. But tafsir is open for everybody. Everybody can refer to Quran and find the meaning and explanation about the ayat and the words of the Quran. Yes.
I have a question about Tafsir bil-Ray.
Bil-Ray.
I understand it's haram for the Quran. Is it also haram for hadiths?
You know, Tafsir bil-Ray, we have to be very careful about this point, this the meaning of Tafsir bil-Ray. Tafsir bil-Ray means if you want to oppose, you want to enforce your idea, your understanding to anything else, either hadith or ayah. It is tafsir bil ra'i, and it is prohibited. But if you just refer to a hadith or refer to an ayah, and then you say, okay, this is my understanding. This is what I understand. This is not tafsir bil